So if you want to keep a deserter, just cap them, chuck them in a holding cell for a little bit, and there you go. I can see them, so we're going to go ahead and psych them out. Any other in my base? There's another one that I psyched out. He's completely dumbfounded. There's some tourists, but they never made it past my main door. So we're going to go all around the island. Just give it a quick little sweep. You can use the arrow keys in conjunction with the mouse to move even faster. There's some more agents. Set them for weakening before they even get to my base. Okay, what else can we build right now besides the infirmary? I'm not really a big fan of the infirmary, to be honest. Nothing much till I can build the stupid archives. I keep failing. I've never actually failed the archives one before. The first time I heard that was the first time I've ever actually heard that announcement. No other AoEs have been noted yet, though. What's happening now, though, is people are coming to teach. One thing I think is interesting is the way techies train. Once the con worker's there and he orders him what to do, the techie can walk away and actually do his duties while the minion literally trains himself. Whereas the guards and the valets must be there throughout the entire training. Ooh, another special property about this game. I like all the little details put in. Look at the floor here. And with the minion here. Every floor casts a perfect reflection of what's above it. You can even see the shadow of the table. We even complete a little bit of the shadow of the net. Reflection of the chairs, the minion getting up from them, the beds. Perfect reflection of the soda machines. It's really interesting. Every single floor reflects, regardless. Well, that was nice. My dad just bought me a chocolate bar. Of course, I bought them a bag of chips. It was more of just repaying me, but it wasn't necessary, so it was nice. Another little neat thing is every room, in order to differentiate faster as you zoom over, has a different floor tile. So corridors have floor tile, the power plant have a specific floor tile, the barracks has a specific floor tile. Everyone completely different. And that is so you can differentiate between them, just by giving the room a glance. And you know what? Nobody's building these things because this is at the level 3. I gotta put it down to level 2. Ha! I did it! I succeeded! And guess what else I found? I found where the dawn is. So I need 5 technicians. If you look down, I only have 1, so I gotta wait for them to train more. For now, I'm gonna get the remaining con workers out of here, and I'm instead gonna send them. Oh crap! I missed it over there. Oh well, we can wait. So there's one more techie training. Now, one thing like I said, that the technicians can actually come out and do their jobs while training a minion. However, that one techie cannot train more than 1 minion at a time. They have to wait till that current one is done training before you can move on to another one. Ah, there's a burglar in my base. Now this guy's going to come out here. He's going to see all these people take for weakening, and he's going to run right for him. Okay, now these are done. I'm going to go ahead and relock the store. So once a guy pops in, he's going to walk right on the pressure plate. Even if he tries to roll past him, he's just going to end up hitting the stack of gold and still standing right on it. And that's going to activate this confusion trap. and that's going to cause people to them to shoot at it, get confused for a minute, and lose attention. When he might even forget why he entered the room. And since whenever an agent breaks open the door, that door stays open for for about a minute, the camera here is probably going to actually catch it as long as this door is open, which it usually is. So that's interesting. They're probably going to get caught before they have a chance to steal things. Not perfect, like I said. There's no such thing as a perfect design. As you can see, they can't even reach this door here without getting sapped or wasting time, something of the sort. Desertion? I think not. Hey, salute me again. Hey, you're not done yet. Salute me again. And off he goes. Sorry, I'm anal about the way I have the camera. Has perfect. Okay, now that I have the archives, I can build an archives. Now, archives don't have to be big. I'm going to put it up here. Right now, the only thing I have available is just the reading table. So I'm just going to put 2 of those in. Once, twice. That's it. Now, over here, I'm going to have a small infirmary slash staff room slash eating room. I'm going to have the eating room slightly bigger because I like to put the extra mouse hole counters in there. And I need a staff room. Where's the staff room? Staff room, staff room, staff room. There it is. I can actually come around the back of this one a little bit. Oh, Jubei is back from when he got knocked out. So in this one I'm actually going to put the mess hall with mixing bowl. Now, like I said, I like to put a couple of them for the fact that you can use these to torture super agents, and it's a really good time waster on super agents. Now, I don't really like infirmary, so I'm just going to put 2 of these. That way they can be researched. Put some drinks machines up here and up here. You know, some table tennis. I just realized I'm going to have to put my control room back in, aren't I? Because it doesn't have to be that big. That'll do. Now, you might be asking why I left that funny little block in the middle. You'll see why very shortly. What I do there is I put a small inner sanctum there. Just 2 by 2. And the whole point of this little inner sanctum is I can put a desk in there and have Max sit in the desk, and his aura will fill up most of the room, which will allow con workers or whatever in there to work a lot longer than they normally would. Memory banks here and here, and we'll stick a time clock on the wall. How about right there? So like I said, you don't need much for a control room. This right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 desks. That's, you know, minimum what's needed. But then I have the memory banks, and since I'm going to have Max right in the middle, it's going to allow them to work longer, meaning there's going to be less time between shift changes anyways, because there's going to be less shift changes overall. Yeah, left shift, this button over here. So now, looking at it, the only thing I might need to do is I might need to expand on this a little bit. I got a little bit extra room there. I can also use room here or here. The only thing I really need to add in at this point is just my lab. And like I said, maybe extend my training room. But I've still got a lot of extra room I can work with. After the crime boss meeting, I might just delete this here because I already have the inner sanctum here. The inner sanctum is really not important whatsoever, except for the crime boss meeting and the very end of the game. That is it. The only thing it really does is it provides places where Max can sit down and replenish his stats if he happens to come under attack. That's it. Saboteurs. Or, no, these are infiltrators. Psych Week. Psych Week is going to be your best friend ever. BFF. Make sure you get used to it. Now the deserter's done his little stint in the jail. He's perfectly loyal to me again. Maybe a little hungry too. Oh, we got at least 5 techies. So we're going to send all 5 of those. Leave 2 on base to train. We're going to send 5 guards too, because guards have the ability to protect additional units. I'm going to send 10 valets, which are going to cover most of the heat. And I'm going to send con workers just a little bit. No, you know what? Not going to send the con workers. Don't need to. Now I'm going to set them plotting, then hiding. Now what that does is, since they are set plotting, even for that split second, when they're done hiding, they will go back to plotting. As you can see, my corporate facade is working quite well. There's been no agents to make it past this door as of yet. And except for the ones I've been to a pulp and dragged here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and extend my training room now. Yeah, this game can get somewhat boring in between, the parts where you're doing AoEs and you're waiting for or when you're waiting for things to build, and you're out of things to build. So please be prepared for that. There's going to be parts where you're just kind of sitting there doing, well, not much of anything. Like for an example, after you find these 3 crime lords, you're going to be giving 3 more to find, 1 at a time. 2 of them will come for you, but 1 of them you do have to track down. After you do these 3, the Butcher of St. Petersburg, a Russian supercriminal known as Nikita Leonov, will come directly to your base. You have to capture him and run him through the mixer bowl. Then you have to find Nigel Ewing. He was an ex-CIA agent. However, he went rogue and now he's an arms dealer. And he only meets with connected criminals, so unless you're notorious enough, you can't find him. You have to have at least 70 notoriety before you can find him. So, while you're at a time where you're working up, like right now, I'm only at 18. So, I'm not even halfway there yet. So, I'll find some more notoriety things as I'm looking around for the other, all of the other bad guys. One thing I do just as a tip, when you're out stealing money, before you set them to steal, like this is back when you have the 4 agents or the maid still in your island, before you actually set them to steal, send maybe 5 or 10 to every area on the map, and then have them plot, and just leave them there for about half an hour to an hour, and by the time you actually capture the maid and open up your map completely, you'll have a bunch of AoEs to do. as you can see, the agents are completely wasting their time by breaking through these perfectly useless high security doors. Um, Agents like big numbers, so the higher the number on the door, the more obvious they think it is, and they're going to go for it. So if there's a level 2 door and a level 3 door, they're going to go for the level 3 door first. So far this is working out quite nicely. Now you see how he was running like that, right? He wants to get out. His time is up on the island. And as you can see, the circle around him is still blue. Oh, I haven't explained that yet, have I? The circle around him here represents their heat. When it's blue, it's cool. That means they haven't found any heat yet. After that, as they find heat, it's going to go up in red quarter circles. So, like, first it'll be from here to here, then from here to here, then from here to here, and then from here to here. At that point, the blue ring disappears. And I call it the evil genius red ring of death. Yes, it's like a reference to the Xbox thing, because the Xbox circle around the power button, as you know, is indicative of how many controllers are currently hooked up to the system. 1/4 for each controller, up to 4. However, should there be a technical problem within the Xbox and it can't start up for whatever reason, that all 4 quarters light up and turn red. This is known by many Xbox fans as the Red Ring of Death, hence the name. Of course, 90% of you probably already knew that, but I thought I explained it anyways. Now I'm going to set this, and I'm going to jack it up by 2 each. Now that automatically changes every time clock in the room, but each one still technically calls in its own minions. So that's still going to call in about 6 minions additional to sit in there. We got tourists in the base. They can't get past this door and then this door, so chances are I don't have to worry about them getting into my base. Oh, I never actually started this one. Now this is actually a 3-minute AOI, but because I have 5 technicians, that's enough to cut it down to 5. So now it's cut down to 130. Now let me just explain this. Now, like I said, this tells you how many people you need in the area. This tells you how many people you have in the area. This just gives a quick little breakdown of what's going to be going on. This is the time remaining, or how long it takes period if you haven't started. Then you have the go or abort button. That's simple enough. Either you go or you abort. This is the notoriety that you're going to garner from doing that mission. And then this is also the heat that you're going to garner from doing the mission. Now, one little thing that you don't know about, it was never explained in the manual or anything, each section, like each Justice Alliance, has a maximum notoriety cap of 100 that you can get from that island. So if, say, you're doing nothing but AoEs in Patriot, once you've siphoned a total of 100 notoriety off Patriot, no matter how many more acts of infamy you do, you will not gain notoriety from it. So you have to be careful, because there's only a total of 500 notoriety in the entire game. So you have to, they split it up, since there's 5 Justice Alliances, 100 per Justice Alliance. Now, for example, if you want to really gain notoriety fast when you're gathering rocket supplies, watch your notoriety, which you notice is no longer going up. Stop and move to another one.